what's up? It's Danielle. So first of all, let me say I apologize if you can hear my space heater. It's super cold in here, so, you know, whatever. But anyways, today I wanted to take you guys through my planner. You know, I'm still using the ARC/tool system. I kind of have a mishmash of both, including using a hole punch from Walmart that I found. So I'm not really sticking to one brand, you know, I'm just kind of floating all over the place. But the cover and the rings that you see are actually by ARC. So anyways, I have been loving this system. I'm kind of pissed off at myself that I didn't do it sooner, because with the Filofax, I noticed that it was more of a pain in terms of creating my inserts and yada yada yada, you know, trying to get them the exact A5 size, which is such a weird size to begin with. I don't know why you wouldn't just make it a half sheet of normal printer paper, but whatever. So anyways, I'm still using the rubber band thing that I know you guys have seen before, which is just one of these, and you know, you just put it around the outside and it just holds all your stuff in. So I'm still using this, but for right now, because I am not taking this with me anywhere, this mainly just stays at home, I have just been kind of leaving it like this, and it just stays open on my desk. So that's another big change, is that this does not come with me to work. And I'm doing that on purpose because I find that I get super distracted, and I think at work it's probably the worst place to be distracted and doing what you're not supposed to be for obvious reasons. So in order to kind of, you know, mitigate that, I decided to leave my baby home. So it's sad, but it had to happen. So anyways, I'm gonna take y'all inside. So I did create some more dashboards, and some of them you're probably gonna recognize from my Filofax days if you've been with me since then. This one should look pretty familiar to you guys if you watched my last video with, you know, where I showed my entire planner. I love this one. I love lemons. So, and then this one I just made recently from some cardstock that I already had on hand. This is actually from a cardstock pack that I got from Michael's. And then, like I said, some of these should look familiar if you've been with me since my Filofax days. This one, which I like to use in the summer, I was using this in my pocket Filofax, which I have retired. So I love this. It just makes me think of like a pool. And then the next one is bacon, because bacon is life. And then we have some cacti. We have some cute little birdies, which actually I like the way this looks. But this one, which I love, is just cute little polka dots. And then I did make like a Christmassy one. I've had this Hello Kitty cardstock for like a year and I never used it. So I finally decided to make it into what it was going to be originally, which was just a dashboard and then just some leaves for fall. So there's that. I actually kind of want to get a different color cover. I was thinking maybe like the blue or the black. So if that happens, obviously I will let y'all know. But for right now, this is what we're working with. So over here, got some sticky notes, page flags, and then little notepad type thing. These two are from Target, and this set of page flags is actually from Michael's. So I'm not huge into the whole matchy-matchy thing, which you guys could probably already tell, but you know, I just like to have things that I like. So this one, which I thought was adorable, just says cool with a cute little popsicle. And then this one I've had for quite a while. It has these cute little donuts at the top, and it says I do not care at all. So just thought that was super precious. And I have had all of these for the past year, The ones from Target, I know you probably can't get any longer, but the ones from like the page flags right here, you could probably still find those at Michael's. Okay, so when you open it up, I have, again, you're gonna see a lot of stuff that I had from my Filofax days. I've spent a lot of time transferring it over, so just fair warning. So this is actually my channel art, and I love it so much. So last year I just ended up cutting it out and laminating it, so just kind of hanging out there. Over here I have a 2018 calendar. Again, I made this, so this is basically just a piece of laminated plastic. All I did was I took I took a laminating sheet and I ran it through my laminator and then cut it down to size, punched it, and it just acts as a fly leaf. So it's nice because, if I want, I can put some sticky notes here or whatever. But for the most part, I just like it so that it protects the calendar. So this calendar, I apologize. This calendar is actually from Miss Trenchcoat's shop, strangecharm.com, and it is a free printable currently. So you should still be able to get it. I don't know when she's gonna, change that, whatever. But I liked it, so I printed it out, reinforced it with some washi, and punched it, threw it in here. I have my key right here, which is what I use only, for the most part, for my weekly spread. I'm not using dailies anymore because I feel like I don't have enough stuff to fill up a daily. So I'm just using a weekly spread. You guys have already seen it, but I've changed the formatting a little bit. So I'm kind of going with like a bullet journal vibe still. So it's kept my life like 3,000 times simpler than, just having like tons of stickers and stamping. I remember when I was super into stamping, and I don't think that's going to be a thing anymore. I'll probably find another use for those, or maybe I'll just sell them all. I don't know. But I do have the dimensions of the paper that I like to use, which is this grid paper by Tool. So Tool is actually the Office Depot Office Max equivalent to ARC, and ARC, for whatever reason, does not sell grid paper, which, I mean, whatever. Just makes my life more of a pain in the ass, just by a little bit, because I have to go to 2 different places to get my planner stuff, but whatever. So I do have the dimensions just so that when I'm, drawing out my weeks, I can kind of gauge where things are going. And then I have some sticky notes right here, which I literally just took all of these off of the fly leaf that I had in my Filofax. I just stuck them on here, just another piece of laminated plastic. I do have my bill due dates right here, and this is just so that I don't forget. I actually need to update this to include my car insurance, so I keep forgetting. And then these dividers are just by ARC. I just wanted something simple. I'm going back to my roots, you guys. So again, if you've been with me for a while, this should look familiar. I love to have these little calendars, and I like to have one for the current month and then one for the month ahead. I do this so that, if I'm making an appointment or I have a meeting or something, I can always look and see, where it falls in terms of the day. But I basically just like this for the sake of reference. Also, I'm pretty lazy when I'm in my planner, and I don't like to have to flip back and forth between sections because, excuse me, I'll actually get distracted. I know that sounds insane, but it's true. So I basically idiot-proofed this for myself. And again, another piece of laminated plastic, which makes it so much easier because all I have to do is lift up the plastic, and then I don't have to move 2 different pieces. I can just move both of them at once. So this is what I've been working with in terms of my weekly pages. And this is for the current week. So what you're seeing is, for this week. So I have been experimenting quite a bit, trying to figure out what I like, and I'm trying to keep color to a minimum, which I know a lot of people are not fans of. But again, the point of me having my planner is not to play in it so much as it is to have me focus on things to get done. So up here, this is kind of my weekly dashboard, if you will. And these are basically floating to-dos. So I'm gonna go over that, you know, later on in this video. But basically with floating to-dos, you know, you can move them to different days of the week or different months, you know, depending on what it is. And that's what I really like. So basically, these are things that are not entirely time sensitive, but I do like to have them done by the end of the week, if that makes sense. I like to have my meal plan in here also. And I already posted a, you know, how I meal plan video for you guys. So if you're interested, you can go hunt that down. But this is what has been working for me because then I don't forget. And then this is what my days have been looking like. So all of my to-dos are, you know, in these little boxes, and then check marks are if I've done them, X's are for if I didn't, and then the arrow is just for migrating tasks. And then at the very bottom in the left-hand corner, I like to write what I actually did have for dinner that night, just so I can kind of see, you know, what I was feeling, that type of thing. And then this is today, Tuesday. So again, same idea, kind of boring, but if I start adding in too much color or if I add in stickers or stamps, I start getting distracted and I don't get stuff done. So there's that. This is a bookmark from Martha Stewart, and it's like the Martha Stewart office, whatever, but it works in both her notebooks, planners, whatever, and also the ARC system. So it does come in like a pack of 6. So I just took the one that was like the most neutral color, which was the gray one, and I just wrote today up there in my very, very horrible cursive. And then on here, I also have my goal for the month, which is to watch my extraneous expenses. So you're gonna see a lot of repetitive elements in my planner, but I do that on purpose because, you know, the more you write things down, the more you internalize them. So very, very plain, but just to show you guys what I was doing before I had the layout that I have now that I really love. It was kind of looking like a shit show. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So this is what I originally had. I believe I still had this when you guys last saw my planner. So, you know, doing washi and just kind of splitting it up into the days right away. You can tell I didn't really make use of this a whole lot, and that always kind of pisses me off, you know, when you basically spend time on something and, you know, you're going to use it and then you just don't end up using it at all. So I have kind of kept some of the formats. For example, I like to have, you know, something that is for next week. So that part I do like, but you can kind of, you're going to be able to tell that I was playing around with it quite a bit. So this is something that I came up with one of the previous weeks. This was like, what, maybe 2 weeks ago? Very, very simple, very streamlined, absolutely like nothing on here. And it's mainly because I was stressed. When I'm stressed out, I tend to not be as creative. And I think you guys can see that. So, you know, just not ideal. And then I thought about, hey, I have my stamps. I need to make use of those. And this was the original plan, but I decided against that because I have not been into stamping for quite a while. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's just too much of a pain, in my opinion. So I don't know if I'm going to sell those or what I'm going to do with it, but I really don't like the idea that I have all of these stamps and I'm not making use of them. So we'll find out. We will definitely find out. And then let me show you the one for last week, because I actually liked this one, but you can tell that it's sort of how I ended up with the layout that I have today. So you're gonna, you know, a lot more color right off the bat. And this was when I really started the weekly dashboard. I even had, you know, a little mini calendar right here in the upper right hand corner. I also had tentative meal plan, which I've decided not to make these tentative because, you know, it doesn't really matter what I do. I can always like swap these out and switch them around if I need to, like if something comes up. So there's really no need for me to say that it's tentative because I know that it is. So it's just a little bit more colorful, you know. And I may go back to this format. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but you know, you can kind of tell I do like this a little bit more than what I've had in previous weeks. But for right now, kind of trying to keep things simple, you know, keep it minimal, whatever. And obviously still sticking with the whole bullet journal type theme. All right, moving on. So I do have, this is the end of this week, which I don't have anything for next week, so whatever. And also one last thing that I want to mention is that I fill in my planner day by day. So I know I used to do everything like in one fell swoop, you know, on, I think it was like on Sundays I would do it. And I would fill in everything that I knew I was supposed to be doing. I found that I didn't engage with, you know, my planner as much as I would like to when I did that. So I'm trying to do this day by day. Also, I find that, you know, things randomly pop up day by day. So I prefer to do it that way now. Okay, this is actually something that was well, it's a page from this, which is by Me to We. It's just a weekly planner. I was using this originally for meal planning, but I decided against that. Again, I think I already posted that, so if you guys are interested, you can go hunt that down. But that's what I was originally using this for, and I decided that was kind of a waste. So, and it didn't fit my needs anymore. So I decided to take it, cut it down, and laminate it and put it in here. This is what I use to plan my week, you know, like pre-plan. So basically I just take a Sharpie, write it all in, and then from there, you know, I can just keep this out while I'm planning the next week. So that just kind of sits in there. And then I do have some extra grid paper just so that I don't have to keep running back and forth to my supply closet. All right, this next section is monthly. And I already showed you guys how I, you know, plan my monthly, which it has changed. So if you haven't seen that yet, go look it up. Oops. But over here, I have this little list page, which again, Target Dollar Spot. And I'm not listing out my goals for the entire year. I'm kind of going month by month, but I also want to see at the end of the year, you know, what my goals actually were. So for January, I had 2, which was to get ready for work faster and to eat more veggies. This month, you guys already know this because I already told you, it's just to watch extraneous expenses. But if you watched my monthly plan with me video, you should have already seen this. I have my key here, which is different than the one that I use in my weekly pages. And then I just have a list of when the equinoxes and the solstices are. Solstice? I don't know. And then I also have my goal right here for the month as well. So again, kind of, oops, sorry, just bumped the camera. Again, kind of going back to what I was doing beforehand, which is where I would have everything horizontal. So it's actually pretty straightforward. I'm not going to take you guys through it though, because if you really want to know, you can go look at that video. But this is everything I have for the month, and then I can just kind of add it in as I need to. I do have the rest of the year in here, which is something that I don't normally do. And that is just because I'm trying to look ahead, and as things pop up, I want to make sure that I have, at least some idea of what to expect for the month. So on the back of all of these, I just have a post-it that just has what's going on. So basically all I track are phases of the moon, things like daylight savings time, birthdays, when movies come out, and holidays. So pretty self-explanatory, I think. All right, this next section is my yearly section, but I'm also, I think I might do like a financial section as well, just to kind of help, with the whole budget situation. So I have a label right here that has all of my bill due dates, and then I have another printable from Miss Trenchcoat's website, and this was actually supposed to print on both sides, but for right now I'm using Excel Starter, and I don't think it gives you that option or whatever, so I don't mind. I like to split the year in half anyways. So this is a little bit more detailed than the yearly one that you're gonna see, and basically I'm tracking things like when I have work on Sundays, and then bills, obviously. I'll probably put some holidays on here. I'm also tracking my period, and then I also have like when I last dyed the blonde in my hair, that kind of thing. And then again, this is another printable from Miss Trenchcoat, just a year at a glance. Excuse me. And I did reinforce all of these with washi, just so that they would last me long enough. And this one, I'm not tracking bills. This is meant more so for like vacations and, when I have to work. Also, it's meant for, looking to see when I have my period, that kind of stuff. And then this is the last 6 months of the year, so I'm not going to touch this until we actually get to July, but for right now I'm just gonna leave it in here so I don't lose it. Okay, this section, kind of like my notes section, if you will. So I have a running list over here of things that I want to buy eventually. And I was trying to convince myself I didn't need a toaster, but I'm lazy, so I'm gonna get a toaster eventually. And then I do need a stock pot so I can make like chili and my chicken tortilla soup. So this is something that I did a lot with my Filofax, and I still have, I think I still have like at least 2 of these. I can't find, just kidding, I found it. But again, if you've been with me since my Filofax days, I don't know how many times I have to say that, I like to have a broken down list of things I'm supposed to do every day. So obviously this kind of depends, but this does work around my work schedule. So like I said, I work Thursday to Saturday, and then I work Sunday every 3 weeks. So pretty much I try to make it so that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I have the most to do. And that just makes my life during, when I'm working, like a little bit easier. So for this, I keep doing that. I'm sorry, you guys. So for this, again, trying to keep it simple, reinforce it with washi. So Mondays I do grocery shopping, meal planning, and then laundry. LTC stands for linens, towels, and clothing. Tuesdays, I have to clean the bathroom and then do the floors. So that means that I don't just clean the floor in my bathroom. I have to vacuum my entire apartment, you know, the little landing before I get to the stairs, the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. For Wednesday, I have to double check / clean out my backpack that I take with me to work, because there's always a lot of stuff in there. And then I have to pack my lunch. And then you can see it gets really, really simple once we hit Thursday. So for Thursday, vacuum everything. I figured I could at least do that because it takes, what, maybe like 15 minutes, and I'm not doing exactly everything, but, you know, I'm just doing like the high traffic areas. And then pack my lunch for the next day. Fridays, 15-minute pickup. You know, I get home from work anytime between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So I generally have to go straight to bed after I eat something because I have to be up at 3:30. And I don't like to, you know, have myself do a lot of cleaning and whatever because I know I don't have the motivation. So I decided I could at least do 15 minutes. Again, pack my lunch. Saturday, same thing. And then E3W means every 3 weeks. So, you know, I don't always have to pack my lunch on Saturday, but when I work a Sunday, I have to. And then Sundays are set in stone. So I have to deep clean the kitchen, plan my week, and then take out trash and recyclables. All right. The next one is just the daily to-do list. This is just really simple stuff. So make my bed, change my pillowcase, do the dishes, ram dump / planner prep. And I used to have something, I decided not to reprint it. I think I'm just gonna staple it together, but it's by Cindy Paw. It's called Power. The way she spells it, she uses her last name, but basically it's powerfully organized, and it's something that helps you to actually do a brain dump. So she calls it ram dump. And then planner prep. So, you know, putting in all my stuff for the next day, what I'm supposed to be doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I need to clean the surfaces, like, you know, kitchen surfaces, bathroom, whatever. And then I have my monthly to-do list, which is just checking cleaning supplies to see if I need anything in that realm, checking the dates for food and personal care items, checking household necessities. So this is, again, basically just to see if I ran out of anything, and then I can add it to my list. And then washing my bedding, and then cleaning out my coffee maker. All right, then we have the floating to-do list. I know I mentioned this before, you know, very briefly, but basically these are things that need to be done every single week that I can kind of move around. So if I'm busy on a particular day when one of these needs to get done, I can just move it. Or actually, I explained that incorrectly. I apologize. I'm working with very little to no sleep. So pretty much what happens is I will take this, and if I feel like I can do it on a certain day, then I will. But basically this just has to get done every week, but there's not a set day that it has to be done, if that makes sense. That's why I call it the floating to-do list, because you can literally, it like floats around, you know? This one is an AN to-do list, which just means as needed. So these are not things that need to get done.
We are getting old.